the ads are on, so it's gonna be a second here. Hey guys, of course.
Okay.
Right as we start.
I am super sick this evening. I know you guys probably know it. I've talked about it on the Hideaway and Patreon and YouTube, and I think I have like a sinus infection or something. And I got what my kids got, and it's a mess. But bear with me tonight. I've got two other people here that can talk louder than me, so that's good. Jess and Tiff, you wanna introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Jess from Honest Fiction. So I mostly read fantasy romance and then contemporary romance. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm also on a mafia romance kick right now. Yep.
I'm
What are
Tiffany.
you reading?
Oh yeah, what are you reading? Just before I.
Oh, I will tell you, it's by Natasha Knight.
Okay.
That's about, let's say, I've pretty much binged her entire Mafia series that she did with A. Zavarelli. It's called The Tithing right now.
Oh, I have to mark that down. I too am a lover of mafia romance. My name is Tiffany. I go by Tiff Talks Pages and Neverland Pixie on Instagram. And I am currently reading This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan because they just released it for Read for Now or Read Now on NetGalley. So I snatched that up. They also had Savor It by Tara DeWitt, snatched that up. So I will be reading those. It feels like early Christmas for me. And I'm excited about this. I just picked it up. I love how floppy it is. I do read fantasy, but I read a lot of, I think I read across the board, right? Like right now, it's been a lot of cozy fantasy. Cozy horror is a thing, but anything I can get my hands on, I'm excited.
You're like my like romance girly that reads cozy fantasy like me too. Because that's a lot of what I do is I read a romance and then I read a lot of cozy fantasy and just fantasy in general. But I still definitely probably read like romance is definitely like the largest category that I read. But I did want to ask you guys real quick while I have you here, and this is a fantasy romance book club. What you guys thought about the romantic or romantasy category for Goodreads?
I know there is a category. I did not look at who actually made it, so I will do that right now.
I was very happy
You
to
have not?
see Slaying the Vampire Conqueror by Carissa Broadbent on there. That was like a favorite for me this year. I think it's interesting that they did it. I am embarrassed at their list in general and really like upset about it every year in terms of the representation, but I am happy that they have a romantasy category, and if they can keep those separate so that fantasy readers can get the books that they want to see, represented on there as well. I think it's great, but what we really want is some more better representation. I think, but I'm glad that they have it. I'm glad they added it. I was surprised. I was not expecting to go on there and see that category. So
yeah, I'm glad they added it, but I haven't liked the Goodreads picks for years, and I feel like they keep getting criticized and aren't changing anything. So that's why I I didn't look.
Right. I hope you weren't doing like a video response thing and I ruined it for you.
Oh, who, me?
Yeah.
No, I literally I don't normally look at Goodreads, but I actually don't recognize a few of these titles, which is interesting.
I was surprised. There was one that I was really surprised that April pointed out, like Bonded by Thorns. I think Jess, you read that one, that poly romance.
Yeah.
It has like 20,000 ratings, and it did not get put on there. When you look at the number of ratings for some of those books, I don't understand, and that's at least would be queer.
So this one, I will say this is so set up. Like nothing really happened. So I can understand why that didn't possibly, because this doesn't feel like a full book. Like it really needed more.
But based on its rating and the number of reviews, I just mean like I feel like they don't read the books that they're picking. It's all based on an algorithm.
Yeah.
But I think it's off shelves too, like how many shelved. Like, so if you put it on your like want to read list.
That makes sense. I didn't Dawn of Onyx is on here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's good.
Hello, Kristen. Hello, hello.
We all think that Fourth Wing is just gonna sweep that category.
Yeah, 100%.
I think there's 2 by Carissa Broadbent on there. The second in her, yeah. So I was happy to see that. You know, I was happy to see that. I was like,
awesome. I hope you like Iron
Flame too.
Yeah.
A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic. I'm looking that up. This sounds so cute. Stop it. Give me all of the. I read the second book. What is it? Sword and Thistle after Cursed Cocktails. Loved it. I loved it.
You read the second one?
Yes, I read it very recently, and it was fun. We're questing in that one. He is going on a quest. Yeah, so that was really exciting, and like the allure of adventuring, and he's a part of the Adventurers Guild, and I loved the world building and just like the grandeur of knowledge and learning and questing and meeting people along the way.
Is it the same characters?
You do get cameos. The tavern is present. Cursed Cocktails is present with the character.
It's not the same big character.
No, it's not the same main character. It's different. So we're expanding the world. I
need to edit my Winter TBR Part 2, and that book is on it. Fellowship of Bakers and Magic sounds really good. That's on my cozy TBR.
I'm gonna pull this up because come on!
Is that the Charles Holmberg one? Oh yeah, that's the cozy one.
It's like, look, she's got a loaf of bread and everything. That's cute.
Is that out yet?
I don't know.
I thought, yeah, this is the Charlie. You know, I really liked the Charlie Holmberg book that I read. It was about the house, The Keeper of Enchanted Rooms.
Oh yeah,
Hanging City is by the same author.
Oh, I started that. Oh, this one has a Bakers and Magic. A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic has an audiobook. A human, a dwarf, and an elf walk into a bake-off. I'm sold. That's so cute.
Really cute.
That sounds like a good like Christmas like cozy kind of read.
Yeah.
But it also looks a little like.
Hey.
Is it creepy at all? I want my creepy reads too. Always. So cute.
Kristen says it's
Hanging City on the list. 6-star read. Okay, let me flag that.
Yeah.
Romantasy. Bex is saying The Hanging City. I believe she's saying. Am I right?
I think he writes like cozy romantasy. Because he wrote Keeper of the Enchanted Rooms. And I really liked that one. Have you read that?
I'm at like 60%. It's one of those books where I made 60% the way into it. Because I liked kind of the flashbacks, like illuminating like the backstory of the actual home and like how they're trying to assess the magic. And then also like the brewing romance between them and how she's like very exacting, but like I'm enjoying it, but I haven't picked it back up.
Yeah, that happens with me. Okay. Are you guys ready to do a sprint?
Yes.
Okay, let's do 30 minutes. Does that sound good for you guys? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, we will see you guys in 30 minutes. Sorry. How did you guys do?
I'm in chapter 3.
Oh, wow.
I'm on chapter 5. However, I don't think we said this in the beginning. I have a different version than you guys do. And the audiobook is not matching this version very well. So there are full-on sentences that are just in this book that are left out in the audio. And also, like, it started out with just filler words, which, like, wasn't a big deal. But then I was, like, reading, and there's, like, an entire paragraph describing somebody that just isn't in the audio version.
That's what happened when I tried to tandem read, not tandem read, but like read and oh my god,
It's okay.
and listen to Song of the Marked.
Oh, okay.
It was the same way. It threw me off. I had to DNF it.
Yeah, because yours is like how many pages longer? We noticed this before we went live because I was like, yours is a little thickums, and this is like bonus content. So,
and I don't think I have bonus content in mine. Mine is 449.
Okay, and this is like 406. So yeah.
So I think it was just edited down. Like, I don't know. In the beginning, it was just a couple words, but now it seems like we're just taking paragraphs out.
So who were they describing in your version?
They were describing the king, the Onyx King.
Okay,
and
yes.
We meet this cute little character, and she's describing the Onyx King, and she goes to say all of these bloodthirsty things about him. But
I'm only in chapter 1.
Not in the audiobook. So, yeah.
And in this one, they, she brings up the Onyx King and how ruthless he's been, but it's just like a sentence, like you said. Like,
yeah, so it's more in depth in this book. So I don't know what else they're gonna change.
How did we feel about how they introduced the world? Because I've started noticing this in the last few like fantasies that I've read on our last live show, Jess, like that she's running. And so we kind of get like a sense of like her city or her town that's like now no longer like cozy and ideal. Like there's like garbage everywhere and the men have been sent off to war. But I thought that was like an interesting way to like show us her like home. She's like running to make it somewhere. I think it's fun when fantasies do that so we can get the kind of terrain a little bit. But I have noticed I'm like, this is a tool.
I also just like being dropped into the world and like doing it that way instead of like the more drawn out where like we find out every little intricacy about the world. I like it when like we just kind of go in and as we're going we find out.
Yes.
Yeah. I like the world building. I like the world. I think that her writing is a bit clunky. And I think, at least so far, I'm only at the end of the first chapter because I'm not listening to the audiobook and I'm like reading it really slowly. So and then I had to go feed my fish. So
that's not slow at all.
What?
You're not reading slowly. Keep going. Don't say that because you're not.
Wait, did you finish the first chapter? Or you have a little bit left?
I'm on page 14, so I've got like 2 pages today.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got like 2 pages to the end of the chapter.
Yeah, and you're not feeling well. You're trucking.
Yeah, totally.
I'm trying.
Talk about my friend like that. Keep going.
I didn't want to bring up a character because you're not gonna. It's like a big thing. I just checked to see what happens at the end of 1.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like some of their writing is just a little bit clunky, and I feel like I'm already like have a clear idea of what's going to happen in this book, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I think I know exactly. It's kind of like when I picked up what was that? A Kingdom of Stars and
Shadows. Yeah.
Whatever that one is. Yeah, it's like where they're the really short, smutty trilogy.
This isn't the first one, but this series.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jess.
Yeah.
I'm in front of my fantasy romance.
love
No,
it.
I just keep pulling up.
It's feeling very much like that. Like, this is quite simple. And like, I think this is going to be very formulaic. But we shall see. I don't know. I'm hoping I'm wrong.
And that could or could not work for me. I got the same sense when we got that bit about, so we know the men have been sent off to war. We get to see her in action. She's not a witch, but she's a healer, and it takes everything out
The
of her.
Fae have been gone.
Yeah, that was a lot of like, they're extinct. And I'm like, every single time they say that, like, oh, the Fae can't have anything to do. Like, they're not the big bad that's responsible for like the King Onyx like winning the war. And I'm like, that's exactly what's happening. That is exactly what's happening. And I don't know if I can't say anything.
I know, that's what I just checked. I was like, don't, you can't say it.
Never mind.
But it's giving me a Curse of Shadows and Thorn vibes in terms of like formula, like it feels, yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking, because I'm like, we're getting like the town, we're kind of getting the same setup where we're dropped into her life. She's on her way somewhere, you know. So I just feel the little cottage was cozy. I'm like, I want squash and corn and stew. Okay.
The only thing is like, I'm a gardener, so of course it's always these things that like peeve me, because I was really annoyed. I'm like, wait, you just described the weather, and then what? Y'all eat corn and squash all year round. Squash takes a long time. If you're talking about like, she's describing winter squash. Squash, like, that takes a long time to grow. They actually grow through the heat of the summer. You start them in spring, and then like corn, that's a summer crop. That's actually a summer crop. Like, why are you saying it's cold there all the time? And so you're eating corn and squash. Like, that does not make sense. Like, I was annoyed. Is it because like of the colors? Because like she's describing it as like a fall, like
she is.
And they're the harvest kingdom, like everything grows there, but the way she described the weather, like I'm gonna have to just believe it, because as a gardener, this is not right.
What about the carrots? Right. She's mentioning carrots. She's mentioning. Did she say peas too?
Carrots, yeah. Like carrots are a cold weather, like cooler weather crop. Jess, I just saw your private chat. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
Oh God.
Kristen's like, not the gardening facts. No, but it does.
It really Kristen, does. You know I'm gonna bring it up. I'm gonna.
But we know where this is going, right? And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on the end of our next sprint, because I'm like, I can see it. So I have to see if that formula is going to work for me, because sometimes I can find great comfort in like, okay, I know where this is going. What is she going to do with it? But I don't know.
I think in chapter at where I'm at now, it seems like it's going to go exactly where we all think it's going to go. And it's, yeah.
Because like something happens and I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah.
Let's just say a very attractive, mysterious stranger just showed up. And they were just informed that the king also showed up. It's very possible that attractive stranger is the king, yes.
Can we get a whole paragraph of that? Okay, so that, I'm wondering if you get more like descriptions of the.
I wonder if I got too much foreshadowing.
Probably.
And that's what they took out, and they were like, we're making it too obvious, so let's take these parts out.
Yeah, because I'm like, obviously this is romantasy. It made it into the category.
Yeah.
Which was a feat many did not get this year. So I'm wondering if who's the hero in this? I mean, I have an idea. The vicious, okay.
Is my guess. I could be completely wrong, but that's
no. I mean, I think Hannah is hitting it on the nose here.
Well, we'll see.
I think it's gonna be quite formulaic. I think I know that from what I remember, that's what Rachel said too. I remember when Rachel watched or read this a while back, for one of her like fantasy romance reading vlogs, and she said it was quite like predictable and formulaic, but that it was a good time and she wanted to continue on. So that's what I'm looking for. It's like a good time. I like the world. Like even though I'm like it's fall themed, but the gardener in me is like okay, but like they have to grow at some point, right? Like you can't just keep like these pumpkins don't just like appear.
No, and we got to look at this map, girl. Okay.
They need like over 100 days to grow, and then you know what I'm saying? Like,
what's your map look like? I want to see if there's any changes with the map.
Okay.
Let's
y'all are
compare.
done with my food talk.
Okay. So
I think they look the same.
I think they look the same. Now, Amber's down here. Okay, I have like 80 notes going everywhere. Yeah, so I have the Kingdom of Amber is here, surrounded by all these trees, and then Onyx is way
up here.
Yeah, way up there.
Okay.
So, I mean, they are conquering. They are trucking through these regions. If they're getting from there all the way down south, okay, I see it. Ooh.
But she said that they were starting. Onyx was starting with Amber.
No, I thought it's been going on.
It's been like they've been ripping through. Let's see.
Yeah.
No, they were going to, but she said that they started with them, so she didn't know why the other kingdoms weren't helping them. Maybe I misunderstood.
Okay, let's look. Because what's tripping me out, and that's in the that is right in the beginning where she's talking about they might have to ask the women to go.
Yeah.
Abington. What the heck? Yeah, because the Onyx Kingdom is way up north like that. So if I can't say anything. Yeah, because okay, I'm trying to look at where she's talking about them not helping. But now you're making me want to like annotate. It trips me out that they were moving this fast. And like later, like very soon, where you're at, Hannah, I'd be interested to see.
Yeah, every other kingdom has been left unscathed.
What?
Yeah.
So they went, I'm reading this as period provinces in the middle here because there's a T at the end. Is it Prideaux or is it period? It's Prideaux.
Okay. Does it say period?
It reads like that for me. So they went through all of this and went straight to the kingdom. What's there? And why? And I'm wondering if we're going to be trucking.
Well, I'm guessing it's going to be kind of like, certain countries that are very closed off from the rest of the world. They get their news from their leaders.
Right.
And so my guess is that's not the actual situation.
My
guess is that the Amber is actually the messed up one. I don't know.
You have both read ACOTAR, right?
Oh yeah.
You know how Lucia and stuff say like cauldron boil me and like things like that, like they have their own curses. In this, all of the curses reference stones, and I love when books do that. So I don't know if it happened in the first 3, but it's happening a lot where I'm at, where it's just like
bleeding stones
and whatever stones. I just think that's fun.
I know some people hate that, but it doesn't bother me. I don't feel like either way.
Because it just reminds me like, okay, we're in a different world, we're in a different system, we have a different I like it. I like it. I'm like, we're learning new colloquialisms. I love that.
Thank you, Erin. Thank you. Okay, guys, let's do another 30-minute sprint. And this might be the last one because I don't know if y'all can. I mean, I know y'all know. This is not working. Stop.
It's a good sign. I do want to continue. I'm like,
yeah, I'm interested. I'm very curious. I'm liking it more than I was liking A Kingdom of blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Stars and Shadows.
Yeah.
I am too. I'm liking this more than I thought I was going to so far. So
Yeah, because I'm very responsive when I'm reading, and I'm over here like yelling, like, "Oh my god!" But I'm into it.
Let's see. Hello. My brain is not. Here we go.
You got this.
Oh my goodness.
Doing all the things. You are doing.
I'm trying. Okay, we'll see you guys in 30 minutes. Okay, so I read more that time. So I'm on. So I'm just about to start chapter 4.
Okay.
So very interesting. How are you guys liking it?
I find it interesting that. Do you guys know the phrase "she let out a breath she didn't know she was holding"? Like it's
Yes,
in,
we all do.
we all know it, right? So it's been rephrased. So in my version, it says a huge exhale found its way out of my lungs. I hadn't been aware I was holding my breath. And then it was changed to I released an exhale I had been holding for 100 years. So I feel like they were trying to get away from saying she let out a breath she didn't know she was holding. Like, I really want to know what her editor said to her. That was like, don't say that.
Rephrase it.
Let's rephrase that. Don't say that.
And make it fantasy.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. That is so funny. I'm enjoying because she talks about like being from a small town and like wanting to see more of the world in the first chapter, and like all of the stories that she's read blurring together. So I am liking that we're moving along on this map, I'll just say. And I am kind of confused though, like as to who the heck the hero is, because every man is described as striking. I'm getting like all of their features. You know, she's kind of getting close to one in particular, but then like the king's voice is, you know, rushing through her body. I'm like, who are we landing on here? Like, I don't know where to focus in terms of that. But
can I give my guess? Because I haven't read much. I think I'm around where you are because I ended up setting out a cat tunnel, so I only read one more chapter. But I'm thinking the prisoner is the king.
Okay.
Is my guess.
Oh, you think so? That's smart. Because I'm on chapter 7 and I'm like, okay. And he keeps like popping in and out. Yeah,
he's able to leave and get back. He's like, I can't tell you why. And I'm thinking,
I know. You're needed here.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay.
So that's my prediction. I don't know if it's right or wrong.
Interessante. I didn't.
How did you feel about the brother coming?
Yes.
What did you feel about that? Because, like, I don't like the brother.
Me neither. I didn't trust him.
No.
He seemed like he was, like, hyped. I'll just say that.
Like, how are you going to lead these people to your and just be like, gotta hurry? Like,
but yeah, I was like a little upset because he's like, oh, it's no problem. And it's like, yes, it is a problem.
Yeah,
how are you alive? Why are you here? Like she said, why isn't everybody? I'm like, you explain. And then basically you just said that you stole and led the people that we're in war with to our front door. Like, I was like, this is stupid.
Yeah. And then he lets her just go to get the medicine. I'm like, like, I don't know. It was just.
I was mad about that. I'm like, of course we've got to double back for the medicine. And she's like blaming herself. And I kind of had a moment where I'm like, what about your siblings? Your sister could have grabbed the medicine too. You brewed it.
Yeah.
Like, how is it her fault? I was a little upset on her behalf for that. I was like, come on, what do you mean it's your fault? And then, like, I don't believe, what's his name? Halden, that he hadn't talked to Halden in months.
No, I don't either.
Like you were in battle that long. You hid, stole, and fled.
Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, his brother is like suspicious.
Right?
Or her brother. Someone want to read this?
Iron Widow. Ooh, yeah. Oh, I know. Like that. I want to read that so bad.
My voice is done.
It's done. It's gone.
The beginning on the. I felt like it was better. The beginning of this or Iron Widow is better than ACOTAR. This?
She just read. Yeah, she just read.
Yeah.
Y'all, I'm done. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It's okay. Please rest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
It's nearly been an hour and a half.
Hopefully next month will be less of this. But thank you guys so much for coming.
Of course. I
Thank
hope
you,
you feel
Kristen.
better.
I know. Please feel
Thank you.
better. Rest up. Thank you for having me. This has been fun. I'm going to continue on.
I'm also
I'll
gonna
be in Discord.
I'll be in the Discord.
Bye, guys.
Bye, y'all.
Oopsies.
I can't wait to discuss. I love the structure.